The briefing pertained to the threat posed, the threat that was imposed by extraterrestrial crafts, and then also briefed on some other alien crafts that had visited Earth. There was 4 types of crafts that they showed us, 4 types of extraterrestrials. And they never explained to us where they got the pictures of these extraterrestrials, but there were actually pictures of these weird-looking creatures that showed on the film that were extraterrestrials from some other location different from where the Ebens came from. One was like an insect, had huge eyes, very large head, a small body. They had 2 different appendages on their arms. They had basically 2 hands on each arm. And they had several joints in their legs. And they had a bubble type appendage in the front and a lump or something in the back. And that was one of them. And the other one was
you know how large those?
They were about the size of a human, average human, about 5, probably between 5 foot and 6 foot tall. And the second one was a very tall, thin, very thin humanoid that had long arms. The arms reached down probably to its knees or halfway between their hips and their feet. They had regular hands. Their faces were very thin. They were almost human looking, unless you really studied them, we got real close to them, and then you determined they weren't humans. I mean, you couldn't identify them as human beings. They didn't have any hair. They had cat-like eyes. Their irises were different than that of a human, almost cat-like. And then there was a third creature that was I found this out later, but at the time they just showed the creature, and it looked something like the Eben, but it was bigger. It had a bigger body than. But I found out later in a briefing I had in 1985 that was a genetically engineered creature that the Ebens made, and that was a briefing in '85 based on an investigation that we were doing.
They felt it was genetically engineered?
They knew it was genetically engineered, and I don't know how. They didn't ever tell us how.